Hello there guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and welcome to another video. I hope that you guys are doing well today. As you can see, this is your second video of today, since I promised you in the first video that I'm making 3 videos today. The first video, of course, is where I'm reacting to my Premier League predictions, what happened in midweek, since the midweek game starts early. And then the second one is this video where I'm going to be going through the Premier predictions on game week number 6, since it starts tomorrow at lunchtime. And then after that, the third and last video is going to be my match preview for Chelsea versus West Ham United, since that game kicks off tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. So 3 videos in one day. Never done this in my history as a Chelsea fan. Never done this. But I promised you, and here you are. This is the second video of today, so if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're new. Smash a like if you enjoyed this video and the three videos as well. Make sure you hit the bell notification so you don't never miss any of them, and make sure you share this video to everybody so that they can come along and subscribe, do everything that they can. And yeah, they're welcome to come to my channel and talk about the Chelsea or any other team. They're welcome to. So yeah, make sure you do many of those. So that's the first video done. Now let's move on into this video where I'm going to be doing the Premier predictions on game week 6. So without further ado, here we go. All right, so first of all, we kick off the game tomorrow afternoon, where Everton against Liverpool face each other at Goodison Park, and it's the Merseyside derby. I'm looking forward to this one. Of course, Everton don't have a really good record against Liverpool at Goodison Park. I can't remember the last time that Everton beat Liverpool at Goodison Park. But what I do remember is that the last time Everton beat Liverpool in the Merseyside derby was at Anfield 2 years ago in January 2020. No, sorry, February 2020 to 2021, and they beat them 2-0, and that was their first win since 19 something. So yeah, but Everton right now under Frank Lampard ain't that great. And yeah, and plus, Everton got a draw against Liverpool that same season. Remember, 2-2, and Liverpool could have nicked it, but it was offside and stuff like that. And guess who the manager was? Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo Ancelotti. Like, for me, yeah, I didn't understand why, yeah, that Everton decided to sack him. I didn't get that at all. Because if Carlo Ancelotti was still here, I believe that maybe someday Everton could finally beat Liverpool at Goodison Park in front of their own fans. I believe that could have happened. But instead, they allowed it to go to Real Madrid, which didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. So, yeah, under Lampard, they're not doing well at the moment. Still winless. I think it's 3 draws right now for Everton, which is not good enough. And yeah, they're looking for their first win. And I don't think it's going to happen against Liverpool. So, yeah, Everton, they're going to find some way to get a win, otherwise they're in serious trouble for relegation. Serious trouble. So for this game, I've gone for 3-0 Liverpool win because yeah, Liverpool scored that last minute against Newcastle. They knew this would be a tough game, but a win for them will put Liverpool back to the place that they want to be, which of course challenge for the title. So they did that against Newcastle, a really tough team. But Liverpool expect this to be a really, really good performance from Liverpool and another 3 points, because they know that Everton aren't playing well at the moment. So yeah, they cannot do what Manchester United did against Liverpool when they had that performance. So they need to get the 3 points. Otherwise, Liverpool, serious trouble, serious trouble. So yeah, in that game, 3-0 to Liverpool is going to be my prediction on that one. Right, Brentford against Leeds United. Of course, these two faced each other on the last day, and Leeds United were staying in the Premier League this season, because if Burnley would have won their game, Leeds United will be dropped down to the relegation. But it's all thanks all thanks to Newcastle United for beating Burnley away from home, and Leeds United getting a win means that Burnley were relegated and Leeds United were staying up. So yeah, and it was 2-1. And for that game tomorrow, I'm gonna go for that same prediction, 2-1. Because Leeds United really impressed me. They've only lost one game, and that was Brighton, who are unbeaten. So yeah, I mean, many people thought that Leeds are going to get relegated because once you saw your best players, yeah, you know you're going to get into trouble, deep trouble. But guess what? Jesse Marsch is doing brilliant um as a manager, getting the best out of these players, not making them look scared, no relegation battle at all. They really started well. You know what I mean? So yeah, went for Brentford. They also did well, lost a couple of games, but I believe they'll still do well under Thomas Frank. I believe them and Leeds United would definitely stay for next season's Premier League. So yeah, neither one of them will go down for me. Neither one of them. So yeah, I'm gonna go for the same result, 2-1 to Brentford. I think sorry, 2-1 to Leeds because that game against Everton should have beaten them. They had so many chances, but yeah, whereas for Brentford, late equaliser after Crystal Palace didn't take their chances as well. So yeah, it's like forwards and backwards for one team or the other. So yeah, but for this game, I think it's going to be a tight one. So that's why I'm going to go for 2-1 to Leeds on that one. It's going to be a really tight game, but I think Leeds United will just nick a win. They will nick a win. Simple as that. All right, moving on into Newcastle United against Crystal Palace. All right, so Newcastle United um, will really be heartbroken against Liverpool because they were 1-0 up at half time, but oh, then they noticed that Liverpool are just too strong for them. So it was a great equaliser for Liverpool, and then Carvalho. The former Liverpool player scored a late equaliser and he was absolutely superb in that game and he deserved the goal. And guess what? Not only did he score a late winner, but he scored that on his birthday. And he was so happy. And I was like, well, congratulations on your birthday. And that's how you do it for Liverpool. You score a great winner. So that's exactly what he did. So well done to Carvalho for helping Liverpool get that win. And yeah, I believe if Liverpool can continue like this, they'll start from bad to great. They need to keep on winning games so that people think that Liverpool would definitely not challenge for the title and also not be in the top four. So Liverpool have to keep this up. So yeah, but for Newcastle United, really disappointed. For Crystal Palace, they'll be disappointed too because they had so many chances to beat Brentford, but they conceded a late equaliser like Brentford did against Everton, and yeah, ended it 1-1. So yeah, both teams didn't win their last game. So yeah, so that's why you can see on the screen. I've gone for Newcastle United with a 2-0 because the last home game of Newcastle they've drew to Manchester City. So I expect this to be really difficult for Crystal Palace. Obviously, when these two met last season, it Newcastle beat them 2-1. So yeah, for this game, I'm gonna go for 2-0. I think Newcastle will bounce back, get the 3 points, and continue to have a great home record because when big teams go there, they don't perform well and they don't usually get the win. So, and since Crystal Palace is doing under Patrick Vieira, I think yeah, this game is going to be difficult for him, the players, and the fans. So that's why I'm going to go for a 2-0 Newcastle United win. All right, moving on into Nottingham Forest against AFC Bournemouth. All right, so Nottingham Forest. It got absolutely destroyed by Manchester City. Like they conceded 3 goals thanks to Erling Haaland's hat trick in from 0 to 38 minutes. And I'm telling you, this guy is unbelievable. And then they conceded another 3 goals thanks to I think it was Bernardo Silva's um goal, and then it was Alvarez who scored 2 goals. So yeah, Man City had annihilated and destroyed Nottingham Forest, and yeah, it wasn't looking good for the fans, the players, and the manager. But but they know that this will be a difficult game. But they're facing a Bournemouth team who got a clean sheet against Wolves, which is good under their assistant coach Gary O'Neill. But Bournemouth should have lost that game because Wolves has so many chances, so many chances. But they had to thank their defense and the goalkeeper for making a clean sheet. So yeah, I think this game I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Nottingham Forest win. I think they'll bounce back, get the 3 points, and when these two face each other last season, Nottingham Forest beat Bournemouth. You know what I mean? So I think it's gonna be the exact same thing as in the Premier League this season when these two face each other. So that's gonna be my prediction. Nottingham Forest 2, AFC Bournemouth 1 is going to be my prediction. I think Nottingham Forest will bounce back. Right, moving on into Tottenham versus Fulham. Now, another London derby. Of course, Tottenham were really lucky to get a draw, lucky to get a draw because from 0 all the way up to the halfway mark of the first half, West Ham were the better team. But then after that, Tottenham played really well and it was deflected shot from that West Ham defender rather than Son's goal to make it 1-0. And then the West Ham um, and then Hugo Luis in that game was absolutely terrible, giving the ball away. And it was part of his fault that West Ham conceded that goal, that Suchek goal. So he had a bad game. Son had a bad game. Just Tottenham really weren't at it. And then West Ham had so many chances to really beat Tottenham, the likes of Suchek, Antonio, who else? Declan Rice, all of these players. Like, I feel bad for West Ham. They really should have beaten Tottenham. They should have beaten Tottenham. So, yeah, for Fulham, they've won against Brighton. That was Brighton's first loss of the season. And Mitrovic scored again. And I keep telling you guys, if this guy can make an impact for Fulham, I believe, yeah, that Fulham will stay up this season. I 100% said that. And guess what? He decided to do that again. Another goal from him. He's the second goal scorer in the Premier League so far because Erling Haaland scored 9 goals. I think that's his sixth goal for Fulham this season. I'm not sure, but yeah, he's proving like to be one of the best strikers for Fulham so far. So yeah, big up to Mitrovic with that one. But for this game, it was so difficult to predict because both Tottenham and Fulham are playing really, really well. But for me, yeah, I think if Richarlison don't start the next game, I think Tottenham would not win that game. I can see them getting a draw or maybe perhaps a loss. But if Richarlison starts and drops Son on the bench, then Tottenham would definitely win because Son, from the start of the season up till now, he hasn't been that great, hasn't been that great whatsoever. So he needs to be on the bench and Richarlison have to start. If I was a Tottenham fan, that's what I'll be saying. But I'm a Chelsea fan, so yeah. But I see the highlights, and Son looked absolutely terrible in the game against West Ham and the other games as well. So he needs to be dropped. So yeah, if Richarlison does start, I can see a Tottenham win. But if he doesn't, then I don't see it. But I think Richarlison will start, so that's why I'm going to go for a 2-1 Tottenham win. Even though I think I wanted to predict a draw, I think Tottenham's home record so far has been really good. No draws, no defeats whatsoever. So that's I'm going to go for 2-1 Tottenham win on that one. All right, Wolves against Southampton. Now, of course, Southampton beat Chelsea 2-1 after going 1-0 down. And also, Wolves had chances to beat Bournemouth, but they couldn't manage to convert it. So that's why you can see me go for 1-1 draw because for me, I think both Wolves and Southampton will do well this season. Although Wolves are looking for their first win because they still are winless. A couple of draws, a couple of defeats, but still no wins for them. So they need to get the 3 points and the first win if they want to do well. Whereas for Southampton, like I said, they played really well against Chelsea, especially in the first half. The second half, they did really well, but Chelsea was so bad, and we allowed Southampton to do that. So yeah, that's why I'm going to go for a draw because I think both teams I think Wolves will not get that win. I just don't see it unless they can win against Southampton, which will be good. But I don't see that happening because Southampton played really good against Chelsea, so that's why I'm going to go for a draw. All right, Aston Villa up against Manchester City. Of course, Aston Villa lost 2-1 to Arsenal, and Aston Villa still only won one game, and that was against Everton, but small defeats. And I'm starting to feel worried about Steven Gerrard. If he doesn't keep this up here, he could be sacked like Scott Parker did. You know what I mean? Like, Gerrard needs to be really, really careful and they need to start picking up wins. Could I see them beat Manchester City? No, because like I said before, Man City destroyed Nottingham Forest, and I believe, yeah, this will hurt the fans, the Villa fans, the players, and the manager. So that's why you can see I've gone for 3-1. Sorry, 3-0 Manchester City win. I think Erling Haaland will score the goals again, and yeah, he will just. Erling Haaland's just been on fire. He has scored more goals here than any other team this season. 9 goals, score more than like many teams didn't score more than that. So that's why I said to you guys that Erling Haaland will get the golden boot. He will get the golden boot. Simple as that. Erling Haaland is just absolutely sensational. On fire, electric. He's just phenomenal. And I did tell you guys here, if Erling Haaland came to Chelsea, I don't think yet that he will be as good as Chelsea, but he'll be far better than the other strikers that we signed. I believe here that if Chelsea would have signed, like say, like a defensive midfielder, a winger, and something like that, I believe here that Chelsea would have won the title last season and definitely would have scored more than 20 goals. So that's why I'm really disappointed here that Chelsea could have signed him last season. I'm really disappointed. Now he's at Manchester City. Look at him. Score more goals than Chelsea and score more goals than any other team. That just shows you the mentality of this team. Like, and that's why I told you guys that Man City are winning the title not only because of Erling Haaland, it's because the squad they've got, the fans, and also the manager. That's why they winning the title this season. So yeah, that's why I'm going to go for 3-0 Manchester City win against Aston Villa. And then we move on into Saturday. Now, of course, of the screen, it shows you the Sunday's games, but they made a mistake. It's actually supposed to be played on Saturday at 3 p.m. So I'm going to do that one next. The next one I'm going to do is Chelsea versus West Ham United. Now, of course, West Ham United was so unlucky, yeah, not to beat Tottenham, like I said before, because they had so many chances, especially in the second half, yeah, where Tottenham got really lucky. Like they were up for this. And I know, yeah, that this game tomorrow afternoon, they'll be up with it against Chelsea. Because Chelsea, yeah, the way they play against Southampton, yeah, I was so optimistic, I was so confident here that we could win this game. But what I saw that performance, I said to myself, I'm looking forward to West Ham because you know what happened when we faced them last season, yeah, managed to scrape the 1-0. And I believe this could be the same thing here, or it could be like a draw again, or maybe like a loss, if you know what I mean. So I really hope here that Thomas Tuchel makes the right decision. Yeah, start with a back three, put players in the right position, and then you see the kind of performance that we do. If I ever see Thomas Tuchel playing the back four, or maybe perhaps starting Mendy, Mount, Havertz, and Jorginho, I'm not even going to watch that game. I'll be so fuming, yeah. I'll be saying to myself, you know what? I ain't going to watch that game because I know we're going to lose. I know we're going to lose. So I really hope Thomas Tuchel makes the right decision. So that's why I'm going to go for a draw on this one. I ain't confident Chelsea winning that game because should have respected Southampton, but I didn't. But now I'm going to respect West Ham and say they're going to nick a draw. They know this will be a tough game, but they look at this as an easy game because they know Chelsea doesn't call a threat at all. So that's why in this game tomorrow, I'm going to go for a draw in that one. Like I said before, I'm confident and I never will be. Unless things change, then fine. But if I don't see any change, then I'll see the same old Chelsea. So that's why in this game tomorrow, that 1-1 draw between Chelsea versus West Ham United and a London derby is going to be my prediction from now on. Simple as that. All right, so let's move on into the last three games, which is on a Sunday. So we start off with Brighton up against Leicester City at the Amex Stadium, kicking off at 2 p.m. on Sunday. So yeah, Leicester City lost again to Manchester United. Of course, Man United completely dominated them, and they got the 3 points. So 3 wins over the last 5 games, which is not bad. But for Leicester, still winless, still winless. And Brendan Rodgers is under some serious pressure. And if I look at the table at the moment, Leicester City are now bottom of the table. Rock bottom, 20th place, only 1 point so far. And that was their draw against Brentford. But ever since then, and guess what? That draw against Brentford was their first start of the season. First start, that draw against Brentford. Ever since then, it's been loss after loss after loss. So Brendan Rodgers and Leicester are in serious trouble. If Brendan Rodgers don't fix this, he could be gone. Because Leicester City don't want to be bottom. They want to do at least be part of the European places. But it looks like so far this season, he hasn't done that. So for me, yeah, if Leicester City don't continue to win, they're in deep trouble. But you can see on the screen, I went for a Brighton to win because they've lost against Fulham, which I did expect it would be 2-1 to Fulham, which I got it right. So I expect that to happen. But I think Brighton will bounce back because Graham Potter's doing a really good job for Brighton, and the players are playing for him left, right, and centre. And plus, it's at the Amex Stadium. The atmosphere is going to be there. The players are still unbeaten away at home. So that's why I feel for Leicester City. Unless they can perform really well and beat Brighton, then good for them. But I don't see that happening. I really don't see that happening. So that's why for me, I'm going for Brighton to win because they're playing good. Whereas for Leicester City, they're in deep trouble for relegation. So they need to fix this. They need to fix this. So that's why I'm going to go for Brighton to win on that one. And last and not least, Man United against Arsenal. Of course, Man United got the win against Leicester yesterday, and Arsenal still unbeaten, 5 wins out of 5, and it's going to be played at Old Trafford. The big question is, will Man United beat Arsenal yet again? Because if we remember last season, when these two met, Arsenal have been doing well, but for Manchester United, they've lost teams like the likes of Watford, Leicester City, Liverpool, and all that stuff. And guess what? Ralph Rangnick was there, and he was in charge for the Chelsea game. And then when they faced Arsenal, he was in charge of that as well. So the big question is, could Man United end Arsenal's unbeaten run, or will Arsenal just continue to beat Manchester United? Because when these two met at the Emirates, Arsenal beat them 3-1. So that's why I'm looking forward to this game on Sunday. Could Arsenal's unbeaten come to an end, or will Man United get back to life, get back to reality? Because it's 3 wins out of 3 so far, which is not that bad. And they're close to the top 4. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's why I didn't want to write off Manchester United at all. I didn't want to write them off. For Arsenal, I don't think they'll win the league, but if they can get two up like this, I think they will definitely finish in the top 4. And Arsenal continue to scare me, Yeah. And that's why I told every single Arsenal fan, my friends here who are Arsenal fans, that you guys will do well. You guys will definitely finish above Chelsea. Some of them agreed with me, but some of them thought I was deluded. Look, 5 wins out of 5, 15 points so far. Unbeaten 1, yeah, winning start since since 2004 when you went invincible. Yeah, best start of the season, and I told you guys you do well. And then some people who disagree with me starting to believe me. Listen, I know it's early, yeah, but if Arsenal continue like this, they'll finish in the top four, no doubt about that. So you can see on the screen, I've gone for an Arsenal win because, yeah, I did the same thing against Liverpool and it didn't work, but I feel like Arsenal, yeah, just really starting to scare me. Unless Man United could put out that same lineup as he did against Leicester City, then fine. But if he doesn't, Arsenal are winning. So that's why for now, as I'm recording this, I've gone for an Arsenal win of 2-1. Simple as that. So yeah, but I'm definitely looking forward to that game on Sunday. It's going to be massive, massive game. The rivalry. It may not be the biggest rivalry, but it's part of the rivalry because of Wenger versus Sir Alex Ferguson and all that stuff. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that game on Sunday. Looking forward to that. All right, guys. So that is all the predictions. Let me go through them one more time. So Everton against Liverpool, the Merseyside derby. I've gone for Liverpool in a 3-0 on that one. The next game, I've gone for Leeds United win of 2-1 against Brentford. The next one, Newcastle United against Palace. I've gone for Newcastle United win of 2-0. The next game, I've gone for Nottingham Forest win of 2-1 against Bournemouth. In the London derby, I've gone for a slight nicky win of Tottenham 2-1 to them. I've gone for a draw between Wolves and Southampton. And I've gone for Manchester City 3-0 win against Villa. And then the Chelsea vs West Ham game, I'm going for a draw, even though I even though I shouldn't predict that. The way Chelsea played so far, ain't confident in that game. So that's I'm gonna go for a draw. Then Sunday's games, Brighton against Leicester, I've gone for Brighton win of 2-1. And then last and not least, I've gone for a big game between Arsenal and United, and I've gone for an Arsenal win of 2-1 on that one. So yeah, that is the end of my Premier predictions on Game Week 5, and that's your second video done. So make sure you don't miss the third video where I'm going to be doing a match preview for Chelsea versus West Ham United that will be taking place tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. So make sure you don't miss any of that. And yeah, so that's your second video done. And if you missed the first video, you can go back to it and check that out because in that video, I reacted to what happened in Game Week 5, which happened this week since the game starts early because the FIFA World Cup, if you know what I mean. So yeah, make sure you check that out. So yes, that is it, guys. That is the end of this Game Week 5 predictions. Let me know in the comments down below whether you agree or disagree with my predictions, and what's your prediction? Let me also know in the comments down below. So that's it. So if you haven't guys already, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're new. Smash a like if you enjoyed this predictions. Make sure you also hit the subscribe button if you're new as well. Make sure you hit the bell notification so that you never miss any of my content. And make sure you share this video to everybody so that they can react to the Chelsea games or the Arsenal games or something like that. And let's see if they agree with my predictions in the comments down below. So make sure you guys do that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Look after yourselves, take care, and as always, up the blues. See you guys for the match preview.